Hey everyone, this is the next lesson on, it's not rocket science, it's just strategic planning. And this is one we're going to talk about creating vision, mission, and core values or beliefs, whichever you want to use. So I'm going to lead you through this. I'm going to try and demystify what the difference is between vision and mission, because we often use them interchangeably. A lot of mission statements that I see, both in the for-profit sector and not-for-profit sector, are not mission statements at all. So let's just grab onto this mission statement thing, and I have a 10-point checklist for you. A mission statement answers the question why. Another word for mission is purpose. So what is your why? And it should be really short, ideally one sentence. It can be just keyword oriented if you want it to be. No jargon, no initials, no acronyms, and make it plain language, about a grade 8 reading level or so. You may say who, as in not who will do things, but who you will serve. So if you have a particular target audience or a group of people who are the consumers of your service in some way, then you can describe who. Try for the active voice, try for, and it gets a little bit, the English language can be a little bit awkward here, but use the word ing, words with ing rather than to improve. To improve is goal language. So improving, you can say improving the lives of people who, right? So that's fine, those are missions. That's your why. You want something that will hold up over time. So you don't want to use language that you know is going to be dated. And I would caution you against using language of the day that is overused. We're killing the word dialogue, we're killing the word collaboration, we're killing the word partnership. So see if you can get those out of your mission statement and use plain language that is easy to understand and has legs for, you know, I'd like to say up to 10 years. You're going to review this every 3 or 4 years, but you want something that hangs around and stays current and you don't have to reprint all your business cards and your brochures, and you don't have to redo your website with a new mission statement because the old one just didn't kind of cut the mustard. It should be inspirational, and I would add to that, it should be aspirational. So it needs to be something that people will grab onto, that has a little heart, that has some guts to it, that's compelling, that's, you know, motivational. It's really, you know, hard to get all of that into one sentence, but you'd be surprised at the number of organizations that actually succeed in doing that and make it really nice and tight and very easy to understand and very clear and very appealing. And the second last one is that it needs to be unique to your organization. I have a list of mission statements that I use in another presentation, and frankly I've lost track, not just because I have a bad memory, I've lost track of who do these belong to. And I can remember the Coke one and the Adidas one and a couple of others because they are unique. So you want something that makes you stand out and is not like the organization that's down the street that does similar work or has similar programs or services. And then you may describe your geography. So if you want to say in the province or in the city of or in the, you know, county of or whatever it is, that's entirely fine. It helps define that, and the assumption would be is if you don't define it, then it could be the whole world. So I have several national clients. They have Canadian in front of their organization's names, and they do not define it. They just simply say if Canadian is our name, then coast to coast to coast. By the way, when Canadians say coast to coast, they mean the third coast is north. And so coast to coast to coast is really what our target group is. So we're not going to define ourselves by just a particular problem or region, a province or a region of the organization. So when you define your why, then you have to read it back and then say, does it really say why? Because if you're going to pull out some mission statements online or some of your sister agencies in your community, most of them are going to say what you do and how you do it. And it'll start off inspirational or aspirational, and then it'll say by, and as soon as you go to by, you're going to what are you going to do? So read your own mission statement. Here's your assignment. Read your own mission statement, look at it and say, does it answer the question why or purpose, right? What's our purpose? Why? And it doesn't answer what or how. Sometimes if you just hack off the end of it, it actually says why. And because as soon as you say by, and then you talk about by offer services and programs to then you're in the what and you're in the how. Very often just by simply shortening it and taking the second half of the sentence away, assuming the grammar hangs together, you can actually get to the why. The second thing I want you to do is I want you to go online and just Google very quickly. You'll get like 5 million hits in 1.2 seconds. Google very quickly mission statements for some of your sister organizations. Bring them up on a screen. Take a look at them and say, do they actually say why or do they say what and how? I don't want you then go criticizing them out in the world. Okay, I just want you to look at them and learn from what you are looking at. So this is a lesson about getting the right question answered. Mission statements say why. When you do that for the first time, you'll never look at mission statements without saying, that's not really a mission statement. It says what and how. It's not really a why. Okay, let's talk about vision. So we got vision and mission. I like putting vision first, but very often when you see a website or you see a brochure, or you see a business card that's got vision and mission on it, it puts mission first. I think vision is the bigger picture, mission is second. So you pick. So what do we need to do with the vision? Well, it's the big dream of what the future will look like. It's a short statement about the ultimate benefit or the results of our work. So it's kind of pie in the sky. It's the big thing. It's a picture, hence the word vision. What will we see? It's always in the present tense. And it states it as if it's already accomplished. If you've ever done affirmations, you don't say, I will be rich, you say, I am rich. So we want the vision statement to be I am or we are rather than we will be. And it's usually focused on people, not on the organization. So it talks about the people you serve rather than the organization. There's an old phrase in nonprofit management that says, organizations do not have needs, people do. So this is about saying, what will the people have through our organization in the ideal possible future? Passionate, inspirational, a sentence or a phrase, and it should challenge us. It should make us say, wow, I don't know if that's possible or not. So that makes it inspirational, right? And then finally, that it can be used just to check against strategic goals. Because here's the deal. If you have a strategic goal that does not match your vision, then you got to change the goal. If the vision is right, then your goal has to change, and vice versa. If you have a strategic goal that feels right and good, but no longer it is congruent with your mission, then you need to take a look at that mission or vision and make some adjustments to it to make sure that the two are congruent and the two are lined up. So what do we see as that ideal possible future for the people we serve, and what's the long-term picture of the results of the outcome we are doing? This is my absolute favorite nonprofit one. It's from the Alzheimer's Society, I believe, of the United States, but don't quote me on that. A world without Alzheimer's disease. Okay? Inspirational, aspirational, has that, oh wow, is it possible? Is clearly wide open in terms of what the possibilities are to create that. Is it an ideal possible future? All of us have had family members affected by Alzheimer's disease, and the answer is it is clearly the possible future that we would like to embrace. And there's one for the for-profit world. TELUS is a communication company here in the western part of Canada. And TELUS's vision, I love. This is a 1990s vision. I have no idea why they changed it, because they didn't have to. Hello world. So this is an international telecommunications company, and their vision was hello world. And I just loved it. I still love it. I keep trying to find other like nonprofit ones that will fit with something like that, because it's a very, very cool vision statement. All right, your learning assignment and your turn then is to take a look at your vision statement and describe talk about, does it describe the ideal possible future for your organization? Does it paint a picture with words? Can you see what you want with this organization down the road? Then I want you to do the same as what you did with mission. I want you to pull 5 vision statements forward and do a critique of those and see if they are truly vision statements. All right, last section then in this particular lesson is to talk about core values. And again, I have a checklist. Go figure that. First of all, you have single words or phrases. And so this tends to be fairly tight. What's the most important thing to our organization? By the way, core values can also be statements of belief or just simply beliefs. You can also drop the core and just say values. I don't think you need core and values. It's a little bit redundant, but usually that's what I see in stuff that comes from organizations. No more than 5 statements. So we want this to be core, meaning it should be tight. You know, having 15 core values is not very valuable because it just they don't become core, and then you're left thinking, which of these ones are the ones that are really important that we really want to stick to us? Highest priority, the driving forces and the deeply held beliefs, the things that are your most important stuff. Why do we use core values? It often segues into our codes of conduct and our ethical codes that we create both for boards and for supervisors, managers, staff, program service delivery folks inside the organization. So it guides behavior, it helps people make right choices, it defines some of the attitudes that we want to see from people, and it kind of shapes what we are inside in the culture of the organization. Again, jargon-free, plain language, and these should really be timeless. Just vision and mission we want to review and revisit every 5 years or so. Core values, if they're truly core, they probably don't change a whole lot. So if you have core values or statement of principle or statements of belief, any of those things, pull them out and just say, do they meet the criteria that were on, the 7 criteria that were on the slide before? And then finally, again, pull some core values, statements of belief, principles out of other organizations in your communities and see what they say. I just pulled out a couple of these, come from a couple of my client agencies. So here, just as samples, not perfect. I think one of them has 6. Well, they both have 6 or maybe 5. So this first one says we are. I like it because it's present tense. Passionate, collaborative, leaders, resilient, and limitless. I like resilient and limitless. They're ones you don't often see. And then we empower and lead through. So it's a little bit different format, but it's still really pretty cool. We lead through advocacy, respect, collaboration, professionalism, and community. Now in the second example, I've edited out the text. There was a sentence or 2 after each one of these that gave a little bit more description, but I don't think you need that. I think those words are fairly powerful words. Now you'll notice that these may not be as unique, and that we actually may have overlap between what we think are our core beliefs or our values and those of other sister organizations, and that's fine. We have uniqueness in our mission, uniqueness in our vision. These ones are almost universals, right? Lots of different organizations, and particularly in the human services sector, can probably put tick marks behind each one of these and say, yeah, that's true of us too. So if you want to borrow them, by all means borrow them, but also to have a conversation about what you would like to see happening. Now, the vision, mission, and core values development can either be a strategic goal in and of itself, or it can happen at your strategic planning retreat if you have time. I've done it both ways. It takes a couple of hours to facilitate the group to get through the vision, mission, and core beliefs. It takes them a half an hour or so to get the content so they understand what they're actually doing and what a mission is, what a vision is, and what core values are. So you can either do them separately as part of your strategic plan, or you can do them as in your strategic planning retreat and have them done by the time your weekend is over, and your draft strategic plan can then include those new core values, and you can send them mission, vision, and core values rather, and you can send them out for feedback with your strategic plan. All right, so we are a wrap with this particular module on the strategic planning process. I hope that you found this helpful. Once again, feedback, comments, and questions are absolutely welcome. Paula MacLean at learningforleaders.ca. I answer every single email that I receive. If you love it, give me a thumbs up. If you have some additions or suggestions how I can improve this, we are in, I think, our 3rd iteration of this course. It just keeps getting better. I hope you agree, and I'd be happy to receive your feedback. So bye for now. Until the next module. See ya.